On January 20th, 2021, the United States and the world will watch as we inaugurate the President. If it goes as it has in the past, he will place his left hand on a Bible, the very Bible used about 160 years ago by Abraham Lincoln, and will swear an oath before God and the American people. Usually, it's administered by the Chief Justice, though that is not mandated. In fact, a few presidents have been sworn in by others. When Warren Harding died in office, Calvin Coolidge was sworn in by his father, a notary public. After Kennedy was assassinated, Lyndon Johnson took the oath aboard Air Force One with Sarah Hughes, a federal judge. There is no mandate to use a Bible, but with the exception of Theodore Roosevelt, Quincy Adams, and Franklin Pierce, every president has. It's worth reflecting on what that symbolizes. The fact that the oath of office is on a Bible is a reflection of the biblical principles on which this country is founded. Those biblical principles, reflecting Judeo-Christian ideals, shape the country which has been open to an unprecedented array of religious expression. You know the bumper sticker that spells out the word coexist with symbols of a crescent moon and a star for Islam, a peace sign, a male and female sign, a Jewish Star of David, a cross for Christianity, and in some cases, symbols of the Baha'i faith and others? Well, there are few places in the world where religions do coexist as well as they do here in the United States. That Bible also contains the words which we read every week in synagogue on Shabbat. The week the oath of office is administered, we will be reading from the book of Exodus, the book which introduces us to the greatest leader of the Jewish people, Moses. So I was reflecting, are there guiding principles that we can learn from Moses that would be helpful to our president? A study of Moses' life yields a great deal. Here is just a taste. Courage. Even before God calls upon Moses, he displays courage. Moses confronted an Egyptian beating an Israelite slave, and later he confronts a group of Midianite shepherds bullying young women. Moses has ahavat Yisrael, love of a fellow Jew. He has a love for his people. And when the Israelites build a golden calf and they bow before it, God says to Moses, I see this is a stiff-necked people. Now let me be that my anger may blaze forth against them and that I may destroy them and make of you a great nation. How does Moses react? He argues with God, and God doesn't do it. And yet, despite his love for his people, Moses was also willing to confront and admonish his people. Here, too, with the golden calf, he says to the Israelites, you have been guilty of a great sin. Moses was obsessed with justice and with fighting injustice. Whether it was a Jew being beaten, or when two Jews were fighting, or Midianite women being hurt, Moses intervened. It did not matter to Moses if the perpetrator or the victim was a Jew or non-Jew. Where Moses saw injustice, he stopped it. And one more lesson about leadership, though there are so many more that we can learn from Moses, and it comes from the Torah portion we actually read the week of the inauguration. The Parsha is Bo, and the Israelites have been held as slave, and Pharaoh and his Egyptians are suffering the effects of several of the 10 plagues. And God threatens further plagues, and Pharaoh's advisors have had enough. They say to Pharaoh, "How long shall this one be a snare to us? Let the men go to worship the Lord their God. Are you not aware that Egypt is lost?" And Pharaoh says to Moses and Aaron, "Go, worship Adonai your God." And then Pharaoh asks this question, "Mi vami hachulchim?" Who are the ones to go? Who are the ones to go? In other words, Pharaoh intends to keep some of the Israelites in Egypt, probably as hostage. And here's Moses' reply. "We will all go, young and old. We will go with our sons, our daughters, our flocks, and our herds." Those words, "we will all go, young and old," are words still quoted in Israel today. It's a reflection that Jews are committed not to abandon other Jews who are being oppressed. We are to take care of one another. I have a dear friend who recalls traveling in Bulgaria when it was a communist country. He was taken in by a Bulgarian family. My friend knows Russian, as did the family, so they could communicate. And one evening, they invited their friends and family from rural parts of Bulgaria to meet my American friend. He mentions that he's Jewish, and there's silence. They had never met a Jew. And that silence was finally broken when one of them asked him, "Are they the people who all take care of one another?" That's all the Bulgarian knew about Jews, and it was something he admired. Mr. President, may you, like Moses, have courage. And may you, like Moses, have a love of your people and defend them. May you, like Moses, be willing to admonish your people when we do not live up to our standards. May you have a passion for justice and be willing to fight injustice. And Mr. President, as Moses made it clear to those who wished harm on the Jewish people, that we will all go, young and old, sons and daughters. May you do all you can to take care of our fellow Americans and inspire Americans to feel a responsibility to one another, and not only to one another, but to our world at large. Mr. President, I know you have many places to turn to advice. May I respectfully suggest that when you are seeking counsel, you include the very Bible on which you place your left hand in January. For its teachings about Moses and insights into leadership are as compelling as they have ever been. Shabbat Shalom.